Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and I have these fun little kind of medallions or rosettes to show you. You can easily adhere them to a box. You could turn them into gift tag holders, or gift tags. You could turn them into garland. You can do all sorts of things with them. So I just want to show you how I made them. I think they're super sweet. And so let me move them over, not too far away because we might need them again. All right, and so we are going to be using the Round We Go. We're not using the stamp set. We're really only using the dies, but I want to show you both together. It's kind of it's actually a really nice bundle, and then you can use it for a whole bunch of things. So I'm using it for Christmas. So we're going to use this piece, and I already cut it out, but I also am using this little medallion piece. But you all have these fun little different shapes and stuff to do different things with. But this is kind of the key die. So it's just one piece, and this is what makes that accordion strip. You need two to make a medallion. So we're going to use the Take a Bow paper. So this comes 6 by 6. I have it right here. Excuse me. You get different patterns. So I think I did all but one of the patterns. I didn't do one in this pattern because I didn't think it would, to be honest, look all that great. That would have been fine. It would just been a little all green, but you get the candy cane stripes. You have some fun little, not really snowflakes, but kind of like snowflakes. You have the polka dots, both sides. You get stripes, and you get, I think you get 4 sheets of each. It's either 4 or 8 sheets of each pack. I'd say 8 sheets for each pattern, which is kind of cool. You get a lot of paper. All right, so we're going to use that. So one piece of 6 by 6, actually, hopefully you can see that, will cut 4 of these little strips. We only need 2, but I just wanted to show you you can get 4 really carefully out of one piece of paper. So what I did is I cut it in half. So this is 3 inches by 6. So we're just going to cut 2 out of that, and I'll show you. So I'll show you right now. All right. I'll use my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to put my paper here, and I'm going to, you'll notice that one side is rounded and one side is kind of like zigzag or jagged teeth. It actually doesn't matter which side you start with, but I'm going to just start with this side. And hopefully you can see, like, the roundedness is really right along the edge of the paper. Because I want to use as much paper as possible to get 2 out of 1. And what this is going to do is going to cut and also score at the same time. So you get 1, I think you can see the score lines in there. And so again, you can see the rounded edges and you can see the cut edges. And so now we're going to do the second one. And what I'm going to do with this one, you see how now this side has the jagged or the teeth, sawtooth, whatever you call it. I'm actually going to put that side on the top. And I'm actually going to align it up. You can kind of see it just fits. So I can get 2 of half and then 4 out of a full sheet. All right, so here's my second one. You can kind of see, you can even use, maybe not with this pattern, but some of the other patterns, you can use this little jagged edge for some sort of embellishment. All right, so we are done with this. Done with that. All right, so we have our 2 pieces here, and you'll notice that I could choose either side, but I'm gonna do the stripe side. One end has like, it's like a little tab, and then one end is just kind of flush, just continuation, but just flush. So on, and you can kind of see this, I think you can see those score lines. On the tab side, I want to fold that up. So it's important, it's not important depending on, I'll tell you why. I like to start that up, and then I'll just kind of zigzag it. And because it's scored in the designer series paper, it's kind of soft. You can kind of see how easy they're just kind of folding right in place. So we're making that, you know, we used to score them ourselves and make the fans, but this is doing it all for us. So that was pretty easy, and you get this little piece. And so before I let that go, I'm going to take my bone folder, just kind of give it a press on both sides, and that's going to crease all of my folds here, so it's nice and tight and nice and folded. The reason why, well, I'll tell you now and I'll show you again. The reason why I'm folding the tab up, and again, this is the pattern I want you to see. So you fold up, and it just reduces the when you put them together. Can you see that seam there? It's not the biggest deal. But it eliminates you seeing that little seam. So if you accidentally don't fold up, you fold down, it's okay. But I just wanted to explain why I was having you fold it up. So it would be seamless. All right, and these come together really easy. All right, again, I'm going to give it a little burnish, and let it go. Okay, so I have these two little accordions. All right, so the next part is we need to glue it together, because you need two to make a circle. So we have that little tab that we folded up right here. So I'm going to kind of fold it flat. I'm going to put a little bit of glue and a little bit of glue, like a dot on the top and a dot on the bottom. I'll show you. Like hardly any. You could put tear and tape. Tear and tape may be slightly wider, so if you do that, just kind of fold it on itself. And so what I'm going to do now is, so my tab is on this end, I'm going to take this end, because it will it just like hooks in. So you can kind of, hope you can see, this will just hook on, so that way you don't see that seam. Give a little press, and I'm sure you can figure out if you use too much glue, it oozes out. Even that oozed out a little bit. So then when I fold it back, it's seamless. So you can't even tell where I glued that together. That's all. All right, so now we need to hook it again. So now we're just gonna actually, again, I want this striped side to be the outside. So I'm gonna put two little dots of glue on that, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna hook that right on top. Give it a press, and it's okay if you smooth it out, because we'll just fold it right back. So I'm just gonna fold that right back. So now, again, you kind of can't see where the seam is. All right, I'm gonna leave that open. So now you need to make one more decision. So let's see. So there's two edges, right? Remember I said there was a jagged edge? Where is it? You have this, like, jagged's not the right word, pointed edge, and you have a rounded edge. So you can choose which one you want to be on the outside of your medallion. So this is that pointed edge. Actually, I'll show you on both the same pattern. That might be easier. So that's the pointed edge, and then this is a rounded edge. So you can choose which side you want. This is actually important, because this is what I forgot in club a couple times. The reason why these do not have string on them, this has string, so if I wanted to hang it on a bag or hang it from somewhere, I forgot this next step. Now I could just put a hole punch and put string on it, and that's fine, but I just want to show you how to do it without a hole. So this is the point where you're going to use the string. This is so old. This is baker's twine. I bought it Home Goods. I can't tell you how many years ago. But in here, there is red and white baker's twine. It's the exact same thing. So that's on that page. So you can get the baker's twine, you can use linen thread, but I do like something thin, because you could do a ribbon too, and you do it the same way. So I'm just going to, I'm not really measuring it. This is probably longer than I need it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to now decide, do I want the rounded or the pointed edge? Let's see, this one is rounded, so I will do pointed, so I want the pointed to be on the outside. So I'm just going to put my string in. I'm not going to tie it or anything. I'm just going to put it in there now, because now we're going to glue our circle shut. But before we do that, you need two other circles. So I did a smaller circle I just cut with a punch, because I just want it smaller than whatever you're going to put on the outside. And then on the back side, this one I actually used a bigger circle. This one I used that medallion that came with a Round We Go, so that's what I'm going to use now, but it doesn't matter. You can use a smooth or detailed edge, and so that's bigger. So what I could do, I'm just leaving these for now just plain, because I could just put glue on that and glue it on a box. But find one with a string. With a string, if I was going to hang it on something as an ornament or a gift bag, I could then take a smaller circle of white, use it as a tag, write my little greeting or who it's from, and then glue that on top. So you have that kind of option. All right, so I want the jagged edge to be on the outside. I have my little circle and I have my bigger circle. So this is the front and this is the back. I have my glue. So what you're going to do, and I think a silicone pad is very helpful. So I'm just going to push it down. I'm going to push this right in the middle and then push it down like that, okay? Just push it towards the middle and then push it down. And it just kind of goes down because it's all scored and everything. And then they're going to take some glue and put some glue around the circle while holding it, because then it will just pop up. I'm going to put this is going to be hidden, so I even notice it's not even perfectly circular, but it doesn't matter because that's going to be hidden by my label. And this is where the silicone mat is helpful, because I can pick up the whole silicone mat, and then I can kind of flip it over, grab hold of that, put this down, put that back down, because it might flip open a little bit. Hold that back down. I'm just straightening out my string, and it doesn't really matter where around it is now because there's no label on the front. I'm going to put glue around that middle just like we did with the front. I'm going to take this is for the back. I'm going to put that like this. The reason why I did the front one first, here's the front one, and you see how that's not really exactly in the middle. It doesn't matter because I'm putting something on top of it. But I want the back, oh, and that one even moved a little bit. I want the back one kind of right in the middle because you might see it. So what I'm going to do is take a block and just put it on top as a weight and let it dry. So for the sake of the video, I'm going to put this one aside. And I'm going to use this one. So it's a different pattern. Again, this is the front, and I know it's off center. It doesn't matter. This one is the back, which is a little off center, but the glue is, I can see that it's not 100% dry. I can move it. I can move it. So now it is in the center. You see how it's a little bit darker? Just means it's still a little wet. All right, so that looks good. That's the back, that's the front. I have my string on there. So now we can decorate it. So that's like how you put the medallions together. So we have this cute little elf. And so this is from the Naughty and Nice stamp set. This is found in the online exclusive section of the online store, or the Stampin' Up! Store. So it's not in any catalogs, but you can go in the menu. There's a whole online exclusive section. You can click on that. You could, if you remember something nice, you could even type in nice in the search bar and that would pop up. And I'm wondering, I actually didn't check this. I wonder if even if you typed elf in the search bar, it possibly might come up, certainly St. Nick. But if you can't think of what it is, you'll find the online exclusives, or go under new products. It would be under new products as well. So that's what we're using. So we're going to use this rounded part. Oops. This little circle. We're going to use, no, we're not going to use that. We're going to use a circle, and we're going to use from the North Pole Elves. We're going to use the hat, and we're going to use cute little booties. They're probably not called booties. I don't know what they're called. All right. Elf shoes. I'm going to use real red. There we go. Close the red. I tend to smudge it everywhere, so I'm giving that a second to dry. I'm going to use, I'm going to use Stays On black. So I actually happen to have right here the two blacks that Stampin' Up! Sells. And so the Memento, both you can use as regular black, like as words, it doesn't matter. The difference between the two is Memento is used for the blends markers. So like these markers. Actually, I am going to use it because we're going to color. Well, I guess it doesn't matter for the words. The reason why I'm hesitating, so the Stays On, the Stays On is a permanent ink. This is somewhat washes off. I think this is when you introduce water, so the watercolored pencils, if you're going to do like the blends pen in the ink, if you ever using water, you want to use that one. I think the black, the Stays On black, has a crisper black to it, so sometimes I use that for the words. For this, it really doesn't matter what you use. Let's see, I'll put them next to each other. So that's, I just re-inked it, so actually it's not as crisp as it should be. It should look like that. I like to keep mine nice and dark. So I just, of course I'm disproving myself, but anyways, choose whichever black you like. Here, now that that's all smudgy, let's just do one more because I just re-inked my Stays On, and I do that often because I like to keep it nice and dark so it doesn't turn gray. And so right now I think I over inked it. All right, so we'll just use the blends. So forget what I said about the Stays On. From the North Pole Elves. There we go, that's a little better. It's still heavy on one side. It could be my particular stamp. Oh, I'm going to leave that open because we're going to stamp the sticky stuff on my table. So the hat and the booty. So they are actually separate stamps, but I just put them on one block just to make it easier. We did this for clubs. It was just one block versus two. All right. And we're going to color. So you definitely do want to use the Memento because we're going to color. So what I did, and you can color your hat however you like. Elves don't always wear red, but I'm going to do red. So I used a little cherry cobbler there. And then I used real red. Where is it? Yeah, cherry cobbler. I wasn't sure if it was a dark red. And this is the light real red. And I'm going to blend them together. And the reason why I did the two-tone is just to give it a little depth. You could just color it one color and that would be fine. Let that dry for a second. And then I also did the, here we go. Actually, let me show you one on a green because you can probably see a little better. I did his socks, the darker red. Ooh. Look what happened. That happens every once in a while. That hasn't happened with my red before. My, because I pushed down my cap so tight. That it separated. Ugh. So if you, I don't know if I just pushed on my cap super tight and so it separated. So if that happens, just separate it and just push it back on and just kind of really squeeze that on. That used to happen to one of my yellows, but it's never happened with this one before. And I'm just gonna click it, not push it down. And then this is shaded spruce. Again, you can do any color you want. This is the light shaded spruce. And this paper doesn't even have shaded spruce in it, but I just picked it so it stuck out a little bit, so it didn't quite match. All right, so we have that there. We have that there. So I'm going to use a punch. This is wicked old. It's, I don't know if you can see, 1 3/4. So Stampin' Up! Still sells a 1 3/4 punch. It's in the pretty silver style. This is really old, but it works. So we still use it. And so I like to use my punches upside down so I can really see where I'm doing it. I just kind of click it one. So it's holding in place, but it's not cutting it, just to make sure I have it where I want it. And then I give it a squeeze. And then this one, I'm going to use scissors because there's no punch, there's no dice. But for the sake of the video, I already cut them out. Now I will tell you, they're little. So if you don't like cutting, you might not like cutting these out, but they do cut out. I left the white space between his 2 little feet. I just cut a straight across because you'll see it's kind of going right on top of white paper anyway, so you don't even notice it. Okay, so just be patient cutting those out. And I'm going to use a dimensionals. I'm going to use my mini ones since these are little. Actually, oops, 2 mini ones fit. Oh, that one didn't come up. You know what? I'm just going to use that one. I'm just using 1 mini dimensional. And I'm going to put it right there. I have something sticky on there. Like that. And then I'm going to use, a whole one would fit, but even just, I'll put 1 mini one on that side and 1 on this side. They are little. This hat is little, but it's super cute. And that, I'm just gonna put it on, but rather than put it on straight, you would block a little bit. So I'm just gonna tilt it a little bit so you can still read from the North Pole elves on there. And then I'm going to, I'm just gonna put 2 dimensionals right on here. Now remember, that's off center, but it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to cover this up, put that on the center so you don't even know. So there you go. So that is the medallion, using that Naughty and Nice as the decorations, but I used this die from the Round We Go bundle. So you can see everything I used, and I will take out all my little different variations. Let's see. This one I did in case you didn't want to deal with that, although I love it. So I think it's well worth it. In this same set, I just stamped that in garden green, and I did the this Wrapped with Love and just used I think it's a 3/4 inch circle and punched it out. So you have options. So that is why it's a little different. Just trying to get all of my, it's kind of fun with those polka dots. Let's see, you already have that one, that one. Oh, I guess this is all the colors. Oh, here it is. Those are all, so it's 3 different sheets of paper, double-sided from the pack, and one piece I didn't use. Okay, so I hope you liked them. I think they're super cute, and I should have brought up a box, and I didn't. Just looking around, but you know, pretend that's a little box. You just glue it on the box, and you can give it, or you can just put it on a loaf of like bread, or you know, you guys are creative. You know how to figure it out. So I hope you like the project. Let me know if I can help you out with anything. Write it in the comments or send me an email, Christine@mailsomethingpretty.com. Go over and visit my website. There's a whole bunch of other ideas, and make sure you're on my mailing list because I sent out lots of information every Tuesday anyways, once in a while, twice a week. And you can do that at mailsomethingpretty.com. Have a wonderful day and have fun making these little rosettes because they really are super cute. Thank you. Bye-bye.